Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper, and it's Wednesday today. So, welcome to Stamping Through My Stash. Now, as you can see, I am not at home, and I'm curious to see how this Stamping Through My Stash works. I received a phone call yesterday from my brother telling me that my mom was in the hospital. So, of course, I rushed over as quickly as I could. So, I threw a bunch of stuff in a bag, not knowing how long I would be here. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to explain my process as we make the card. I really don't know what I'm going to make just yet. I have an idea, a small idea, but I think it's always interesting to follow along in the process. So let's take a look. And I'm going to use True Beauty, this stamp set. Now, I know that I have used the paper to go with this, and I can't even remember if I did it for a Stamping Through My Stash video. I guess it doesn't really matter. But what I like to do is before I use a stamp to make a card, I like to stamp all the images. So when I was rushing around yesterday at home, I decided I wanted to go with pink. So I grabbed a bunch of different cardstocks and a bunch of shades of pink and 2 shades of green. And so I stamped these ahead of time. I did that just now, this morning. And I wrote down beside it which I used. So starting at the top, I did this branch with Flirty Flamingo and Soft Succulent. But ideally, I'd like to do it with markers so that I could have the stem in green and the flowers, and I would use my Stamparatus. But I didn't take my markers. I do have my Stamparatus, but such is the nature of the beast. And so, as I share these stories, it kind of gives you an idea of what supplies I would use and what I think is a good investment. So, then we have the leaves, and I did them in Soft Succulent and stamped off. This flower in Blushing Bride and stamped off. This is Polished Pink, Petal Pink, and Flirty Flamingo. Now, I was surprised at how much I loved Flirty Flamingo, and I was shocked at how brown the Brushing Bride color was when I stamped it full strength and how much softer it is stamped off. So, interesting. And the one thing that I wanted to take with me that I totally forgot is our brand new masking paper. I love it, but there is a workaround that I'm going to use. So let's get started. I have to find my paper trimmer. There we go. So I'm going to start with a piece of basic white that is going to be 4 inches by 5 1/4. Let's turn that around. So 5 1/4. So the one thing that didn't happen yesterday is my newsletter. If you guys are watching this and you subscribe to my newsletter, I'd love to hear how important it is to you. Do you use it as a source of information and knowledge? Do you miss it when you don't get it? What do you look for in a newsletter? Okay, so here I have my 4 inches by 5 1/4, and then I'm going to take a piece of scrap paper, um, just a second, here, and I'm going to cut this at 5 1/2. So this is just computer paper, and thankfully I took my whole container of tools with, and I'm going to do it at 4 1/4, and then I'm just going to cut this in half at about 2 1/4. There, so now I have 2 strips of computer paper. And I'm going to, let's have a look. So I have this product that I actually get on Amazon. It's called Removable Adhesive. And right now I don't think it's coming out as well as it should. It's this narrow little strip, but maybe it's supposed to do that. I don't know. I'm going to just put some along this edge. Okay. And I'm going to do that on both of these. And I'm going to try something I haven't done in quite a while. Oh, look at that. That's the end of that. I had just enough. Thank you, Lord. Okay, so I'm going to take this piece of white, and I'll use the stripe that's on my barn board paper here, kind of so that I don't, it looks pretty straight to me. Okay, so this is going to go this way. I'm going to cover up this. There. So yeah, it was quite the emotional roller coaster yesterday. You think your parents or your mom's going to die, and thankfully she's okay for now. You know, it's going to happen one of these days. We just have to be ready for it, but you can never really be ready for it. Okay, so I have this strip here, and I'm going to stamp in there. And I don't know if I made it big enough. Well, I'm going to leave it. All right, so I don't want to make this dirty. So I'm going to put my computer paper underneath. And then I think I'm going to start. This is my absolute favorite flower in here. I'm going to try to not pick favorites, but I am. When you're doing this kind of thing, you should really start with your biggest stamp. So I don't know if I'm going to use the huge one, but we're going to use this in Flirty Flamingo. I'm going to do one nice and big in the middle. And there. And then we're going to do another one. Maybe I should do a leaf now. And I was really thinking about cutting this leaf in half, but I haven't decided to do it yet. So maybe we'll wait a little bit. And I think I want to do this in Pear Pizzazz. So we're going to add some leaves. Oh, that got a little bit further in than I would have liked. I didn't really want to cover my flowers. And there. And then I should clean these off. Goodness, I don't see my cleaner. I'm just going to carefully peel them off. Here. And now I'm going to do the, no, not the branchy one. This little guy. I have a small block here somewhere. Oh yeah, here. Always try to use a block that's fairly similar in size to your stamp. It stops mistakes from happening. I think we're going to go with Petal Pink, a nice light color. There. And we'll squeeze one in here. And now I think I want to add some words, which is a little bit perhaps unusual. Well, let's have a look. I'm going to do the with love, and I'm going to do that in black. Yeah. And I don't know. I didn't take any blends with. If I had some blends, I'd do a little spatter in here, but I have no blends. I have no markers. But what I do have is a blending brush. And I was going to go with a really light blue, and maybe I still will. I could ruin this totally, but I'm going to give it a whirl. And let's see what happens. I'm just closing up my ink pads. So I've got Balmy Blue here. And I'm just going to do this. I don't know. The big reveal is going to happen. But you know what? If you don't know, if you don't try, you won't know. And it's only paper. Okay, are we ready for this? So, gently. There. I think it's okay. I think it's really cool. Doesn't that look neat? Yeah. Okay. Now, do we want to put another word on here? Just because you're a true friend. I think you're a true friend. Let's see. And normally I would kind of, yeah, it's okay. So this is going to be a basic card. I don't think I took any ribbon with. I'll look and have a look. Now, did that make sense? I'll look and have a look. Oh, that's the stressful brain talking. I know you guys have been there. Okay, this looks really pretty. I also don't have any gems. A few pearls would look nice here. But let's take a peek now at what cardstock we should have. Move this out of the way. So this is Blushing Bride. You can see that color is not in there at all. Then we have Petal Pink. Look how nice that looks. Okay, so I love the Petal Pink. And I think that's a good thing because look, those are for, I have to make a box with Christmas things. So that's what this is for. So it's going to be Petal Pink. I didn't take any Flirty Flamingo. I thought I did. Okay, so we take our paper trimmer. Excuse me. And this is 8.5 by 11. So we go at 4 1/4. And then we're going to take the light gray blade, that scores. And then I bent my cardstock. And then at 5 1/2, we're going to cut. Then we have 2 cards. So here we have the one that we're going to use. And you can use a bone folder to score it, or you can use a block. But give it a nice firm crease. And then we're going to use some liquid adhesive. Just make sure that the top tip is cleaned off or it will be stuck. You could do this tone on tone with white. I didn't show that option. But I'm just really happy that I can have the consistency and still do a video. It's good for me to stamp. It's great therapy. I thank you, everyone that commented yesterday, with all your thoughts and prayers and kind words. I so appreciate it. There, look at that. How nice is that? I want to put one in the inside too. Let's see. We'll cut that down. Here we go. 4 inches. Again, same measurements, 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I'm gonna have to get my computer paper again. Here we go. And then we're going to stamp that flower in the corner here. And I used Flirty Flamingo. So it says, you are a true friend. And maybe, well, we'll see. I'm going to stamp it up here. And then we're going to use the other stamp that I haven't used yet. This one. Oh, that's not going to fit on there. Let's have a look. It will fit on this block. There. And we'll stamp that in Pear Pizzazz. And then just leave it open. If I had more stamps with me, I would stamp something else in the inside. Maybe. I don't always do that. I often leave my cards blank in the inside. Isn't that pretty? So it's just a tiny little thing. And I guess what we could do is stamp this one here. I'm not telling you what it is yet. Let's ink it up. And I'm going to put it right at the bottom, which is also unusual. And then I'll do all my writing at the top. Okay. And here's the card, and then we're going to see how pretty it looks. Like so. Very fresh. I absolutely love it. Stamping just really, I connected. I've been calling my customers. Now, I'm not making that much progress, but I am really trying. So I make at least between 5 and 10 calls a day. And I connected with someone yesterday, and she was talking about mental health issues, and she was talking about how much stamping helps her. And just her story was just warmed my heart. She says, you know, when I stamp, everything else falls away. I'm in the moment. I'm concentrating on my colors and my design, and it's helped me so much. So how amazing is that? All right, so this was the stamp. There are also, this is like basic stamping, so it's amazing what you can do with just the stamp. I know these are hard times and bundles can be expensive, so you can always just get the stamp. There are beautiful dies to go with it. There's these that cuts out all the flowers and the leaves. And then there's also this one that does a whole design for the background. Here is the catalog that shows you. So that's the pretty paper that I've used in the past. And then here are some cards made with it. And if you look closely here, you will see that diamond pattern in the background and here. So it is a stunning stamp set. You can also create home decor items with it. That's a frame, a framed art piece. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here, and I hope you subscribe to my channel and check out my blog as well, thepamperedstamper.com. And remember that when you're looking at YouTube, right under the YouTube thing, there's a bit of a description, and then there's the two important words that say show more. Click on that, and you'll get more information, okay? And the links to my store. All right. Thank you. Have a super day. Bye.